As the crisis in Venezuela intensifies, its struggling president takes a new shot at the U.S., ordering the shutdown of all Venezuelan diplomatic outposts inside the United States.
I have decided to recall all diplomatic and consular personnel for the country and to close all consulates in the United States.
Speaking to the Venezuelan Supreme Court, Nicolas Maduro also repeated his demand that all American diplomatic staff in Venezuela get out by Sunday. His new swipe setting off rounds of applause, but they come amid tremendous upheaval. A monitoring group says at least 26 people have been killed in nationwide protests, and the US now has requested a UN Security Council meeting on the chaos there. Meanwhile, the list of Mr. Maduro's detractors is growing. The sea of yellow you see there. The EU and most of the Americas now recognises the opposition leader Juan Guaido as the president. The top US diplomat accusing what he calls authoritarian regimes, those in red, of lining up to prop up the president. They include Russia, China, Turkey and Cuba. But Mr. Maduro's most important ally likely is the powerful Venezuelan military. Its leaders pledging their allegiance on Thursday after the opposition's dramatic attempt to oust him. Stefano Pozzebon is still tracking developments for us inside Venezuela. Joins us now. A lot of political and diplomatic upheaval. But try to give us a sense of the situation now. We've got dead protesters. Where's the momentum given President Maduro's past ability to hang on and crush dissent?
Yes, exactly, Michael. The momentum that could turn very, very serious very, very soon here in Caracas, because we have yet another crisis brewing up with the fate of the U.S. personnel, U.S. diplomatic personnel here in Caracas. Today, President Nicolas Maduro has reiterated it gives only until Sunday to the U.S. diplomatic staff to leave Venezuela. And the United States Department of State has already reiterated time and time again that they consider that order pretty meaningless because they do not recognize the authority of Nicolas Maduro. So right now in Caracas there is a standoff building up around the U.S. diplomacy mission, the U.S. embassy here in Caracas, and the Venezuelan general public and any single international observer alike are watching very, very closely what's coming up in the next couple of days out of that embassy, Michael.
And Stefano, we also saw, as we reported, the military or elements of it giving their support to Mr. Maduro. The question, I suppose, is whether that is throughout the entire military. There has been talk of fractures in the military.
Absolutely. What we have seen today is a strong statement by the military high command, the top brass of the Venezuelan Army, Air Force and the Navy. They came out in numbers to say that they support the leadership of Nicolas Maduro and recognize him as the commander-in-chief. But at the same time, Michael, Venezuela is a country that is on the verge of collapse. After 5 years of deep economic and social crisis, even the members of the military are feeling the burnt of the crisis. Most soldiers, private officers, lieutenants, captains, the lower ranking officials are definitely feeling that the food is lacking and the medicines are lacking. So fractures within the armed force could definitely cripple up in the next couple of days because the pressure is mounting around this standoff, Michael.
Thanks for all your reporting on this the last few days. Stefano Pozzebon there in Caracas for us.